Call the meeting to order. Do I have a volunteer who would like to read the mission and business here? All right, thank you.
Welcome. The Liverpool Metropolitan Park District's mission and statement to provide a welcoming public aquatics facility managed in a fiscally responsible manner with a focus on educating all ages in the lifelong skills of water safety. We carry out this mission with a board and staff who are compassionate, inclusive, and responsive to the needs of our diverse community, working to foster positive and lifelong experiences with aquatic environments. The TPMPD vision statement, contributing to the quality of life for our community and for future generations through welcoming, fun, safe, and positive aquatic experiences at the Tukwila. Thank you.
Everyone else can please go to the reason. Roll call. I will start tonight.
Commissioner Ross present.
Commissioner Chipman present.
Commissioner Gamble present.
Commissioner Frangelo Anderson present. We're also joined by our project manager, Brandy Fox, and our executive director, Brad Hartman, and aquatics director, Anastasia Shapiro, and our new district clerk, Christopher Robbins. And we're joined by a previous commissioner and city, city person, city. Resident. And yourself. Is there anybody online? No?
No.
Item 3, approve agenda.
Make a motion that we approve the agenda. I second it.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the agenda, say aye. Aye. Agenda approved. Moving on to item 4, staff spotlights.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, this month we just want to highlight and celebrate our graduates at the Tukwila pool. We have about 7 graduates, most of them from Foster High School. So we just want to say thank you to all of our staff members, and whether it's short time or a long time, that have been with us since they were freshmen all the way to now, and some that have just recently joined our team. So we just want to say congratulations to them all publicly, and we just want to highlight that their commitment to the Tukwila pool did not go unnoticed.
That's like the little.
Yeah, so cute.
I know that's great. They play such an important role in our community, so thank you. Citizens' comments. Nobody's online. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Citizens' comments.
Hi, my name's Andrew Stahl. Do you need my address?
No, we're not.
Cool. Okay. Just a few quick comments. I'm excited to see where you guys are going with the whole capital development plan. You guys have a lot of stuff going on. I'm still trying to keep tabs on you guys. It's been kind of rough a few months. I've seen the fresh face. I'm guessing you guys just had your hands full trying to update things like minutes and stuff like that online. So things happen. If possible, the TPAC application, did you guys make the PDF editable? Because my handwriting is atrocious and not really legible. I had one that I had to have written and accidentally threw it away. And that's all.
Thank you. Do you want to follow TPAC application? Electronically.
That does make it easier. Thank you. Any others? Citizens' comments? Sorry, there's something that I couldn't see. Moving on to the consent agenda, with the minutes and the vouchers.
Make a motion.
Second. Discussion. The only thing that I saw, and it's only because I was present at this meeting, is where it says Board of Clerk Commissioner Aaron Shipman led the group in pledge of allegiance. I think that should be me. Because I was here. Maybe. So even the first one.
Would that be like called meeting to order also then?
Yes, that would be the same way.
Noted.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Are you listed as 3 minutes?
Yes. Seeing none, all in favor of approving the consent agenda with the noted corrections to the H2 board president for the country of allegiance and the fall meeting order, say aye. Aye. Motion. Moving on to 7A, executive report.
Oh, hi. Hi. No major report outs, just some, no major report outs. Things that we've continuously discussed, ongoing work regarding software. We have onboarded a new district clerk, Christopher Robin, who will introduce himself when we get to district report. Board retreat is highlighted in red, just again to keep that in front of everybody. Facility repairs, lights have been done, concrete work has been done, and our most recent pool closure that took place Saturday that affected Sunday has also been essentially completed and stages verified. And we should be back to normal tomorrow morning. In front of us today is a Salem Parks Foundation contract amendment that we'll get into. But other than that, open for questions.
Legislative updates, there's no report. I appreciate being on the agenda and you have something to do with that.
It's a standalone, just so people don't forget that it's separate.
I like that contact.
Yeah.
Programs operations.
District.
Oh, I'm sorry, district. District.
Hi,
Hi.
that's me. Well, hello, everybody. Yeah, right. My name's Christopher Robin. I was born in Michigan, but I've lived all over the United States and the world. I've created schools, worked with them, created a few businesses along the way, and I most recently was working up at Waskowitz, and was working with Highline Schools and running a small team up there, and super glad to continue supporting community and being here. I think it's a lovely spot, and I'm super excited to be here.
Is it Robin or Robin?
Robin. Yeah. Like Christopher Robin, just like Christopher Robin. Yeah. Yeah. My mom is very whimsical. My mom's whimsical. And so she's like, she just loves light and laughs and all that. I love it personally. So yeah.
Well, it's very nice to have.
Yeah, thank you. What? Yo, yeah, oh yeah. No, I love it too.
Nice segue. I don't know, there was no segue there, but So just want to highlight a couple of things. You guys do have the report in front of you. We recently had our water safety event. The attendance is listed there, light attendance, but still think it was very impactful to see the students who did get the education, or the families that did come in and get the education that they got. So very exciting to see the faces that came. We also had our team down at Thorndike Elementary doing our annual water safety with them over 2 days, which was a lot of fun. Some of the kids knew some of the stuff without ever taking this course, so it was, or without ever having that education, which was awesome. And then tomorrow, actually, we have Tukwila Elementary coming up, so they're going to be doing their field trip tomorrow, which we're very excited to see how that goes. Hoping that the weather turns up a little bit for us, but I don't know that it will. So they're going to be doing something similar to what Thorndike gets, but with some additional educational pieces, like seeing they're not walking through our pump room. I want to make that clear, but they are going to get to peek in and see how the water flows in and things like that, as well as getting CPR info, and then watching the lifeguard rescue and getting some less information. Other than that, we're just ramping up for summer, hiring, getting the schedule out. So it's been a busy few weeks for us getting summer up and running. I just want to highlight, these are the youth passes that the kids will be receiving. So anyone that attended our water safety event, anyone that came to Thorndike's water safety event, and then Tukwila Elementary. Right now, we're just waiting on student rosters, if that's even possible, just to make sure that we can verify who is getting the passes. So this will be really exciting for them to get to utilize these passes. So, yeah. Any questions? Yes.
I did show those to Courtney. She was super excited.
Oh.
We caught her in the lobby, so.
Oh, nice. Yeah. She was aware of them. Yeah. That's awesome.
Are they gonna receive laminated?
Yep. So with our badges and whatnot, we'll have our staff finish these out tomorrow and get our lanyard. So yeah. Any questions? Yeah, Debbie.
I was wondering, just as I'm walking around, if you have like a flyer, because advertising the kids $50 for the summer that I could, would that be a bad thing? That I can
No, yeah, we do have them, yeah.
You know what I mean? Leave on porches of people that I know have kids. Because I think that's a great deal. And then on one other question I was asked by a mom that has 5, like 7th grade through 4 years old, is there any kind of a family rate?
There is not a family rate. The youth pass is $50 per child. I mean, it's a pretty good rate. There is a family pass, like a month pass, that includes 2 adults and any dependents under that.
So that would be a better way to go for that larger.
If they would like to, but it is a monthly pass versus an all summer pass. So they just have to kind of figure out the cost. I think for 5 kids, it would be a better rate. But that just depends on their usage and how often they're utilizing that pass.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And we also have our year pass for $100.
Yes, the annual year pass.
Because that might be a flyer too, if families want to choose between, just for summer here. And I was going to tell you, I've got a mom who was telling me that she's a chaperone for tomorrow's field trip. Her son is so excited. Her son is so excited to come for this field trip. So that's super excited.
You guys have somebody taking pictures?
It depends, because Courtney, with her class, we also don't really take pictures, because we don't want to show their faces or anything. So I'd have to get consent from the school.
Right. Yeah. And I just want to say, I attended water safety, and now Mr. Daniel did too, and the staff really did a very good job at their stations and engaging kids and the families. So it was, the staff did a really nice job at that. And,
yeah.
I really just want to say thanks to them for doing that. Of course, kids love the comments.
I mean, we're also super grateful. Kayak Club, there was some, it was really, really, really great to have someone there who had the knowledge and the open water aspect there. So it was really helpful to have them. They're a great partner every year. We always look forward to having them there. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I do have one final thing. You guys will be receiving some communication regarding a opportunity to attend a professional rescuer course that Matthew will be running for our staff that are non-lifeguard staff. So this is a certification leading everything up to the water rescue portion that a lifeguard has. So if you are all interested, you will be receiving an email. We're working on. There's a little bit of an overlap this weekend, and we want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to attend. So about 3 weeks out, we'll have a date for you guys this week, but it'll be about 3 weeks out, so everyone has enough time to plan if they would like to attend that course. So I just wanted to open that up. It is a 1-day course, about 6 hours, so with practice. So just wanted to put that out there if any of you are interested in attending that. We'll be sending communication out about this week.
Awesome. Anything else? Okay. Program stand operation. So moving on to Tukwila Pool Advisory. Oh, you can bear. I don't know why I'm looking. I was there, and Jenny was there, and Ellen was there. But again, a very productive, and the minutes reflect basically a lot of what was what transpired in the communication. The Hazelnut article was talked about again, because I was really on that, and I believe staff was going to reach out to the city to find out a deadline, and if that was still an opportunity for us to do that. The TPAC bylaws, I believe, are pretty much all wrapped up and will be coming in front of the board in July. So that has been taken care of. But yeah, it was a very good conversation. Welcome to there, and thank you, TPAC. Excellent dates. Very good. Are there any questions for TPAC? The next meeting is June 15th and 20th. And that's you're on.
Commissioner Bangor is going to take that for me, and I'll do July.
Finance committee.
Yeah. And we reviewed financial reports, with payroll, talked about the accountability audit, which the final documents are submitted. We talked a little bit about income because we're behind since our commercial renters have gone away and waiting to hear if there been any updates regarding Brad. Has there been any just for Anastasia? Has there been any update from?
Not as of today.
Okay, and then we talked about the lighting, which I guess was great until I guess the light went out. The concrete project done. And slides is disassembled if you haven't seen it. All gone. Well, not all gone. Stickers. I did ask about the spinner. It's still pending installation. Okay, and any update on the water aquatics headset?
It was purchased, it was tested, it was an SOT and you see it was, but yes, it is on site.
Awesome. Great news. Okay, and we talked about software. There's operations of looking at replacing the programming software as well as looking at programming software with all financial stuff as well as the module. Seems a lot more robust than what we currently have. So we're waiting for more information on that. Got an update from the Washington State retirement planning. And then we talked about, upping the spending threshold, but we were waiting on capital development for the executive director because with all the stuff we're purchasing, there seems to be a need for the executive director to have more money available. And we did get ARC, and Brad got them, they got approved, and they were able to give the school district the renderings, correct? Okay, and then you also got, they're also doing some other renderings for others. And then we approved for, Rhonda, and she, I believe, has started doing some training. I think that's it, unless you have any questions, and the next finance meeting is on June 22nd, which is a different day.
Okay. The only thing I have is that the Congress meeting is misspelled. Down in the notes in the minutes, it's Hilyer.
And then I just want to add the annual report is in here as well. The annual report is the one we typically submit to the auditor's office every year around May. That has to do with the district's prior year's financials. So this essentially is closing out our 2025 financials. So if anyone's interested, that report is also attached. And that exit conference has also been completed, and we are essentially good to go.
Thank you, Brad, and Amy, for all the work on that. I know to secure.
Do I need any questions regarding finance committee annual report?
Moving starting work on the budget. Yeah, I understand what volunteer. Well, yes, I did, you know, I'm not finding meetings, okay.
All right, capital development committee, CDC. Sure.
Obviously, you got your reports included, determining site location continues highest priority. Just an update to this, TPMD was informed by RCO that the indoor facility would not be eligible for the planning grant. Unfortunately, they did quite a lot of research and actually have to look back to the actual resolution. Our next meeting is on Tuesday, June 16th at 4 p.m.
Ready, move, get it out. Yes. Doesn't make sure to be. Any questions for capital development? All right, now we're moving on to business items. Business item A, authorizing capital development project resolution 2026-3. This is the first of many resolutions to come. Just put that out there that as we've been learning through some webinars. We all know we're doing a capital campaign, but it's just more formality that we all approve a resolution that we're all in agreement that we are doing a capital development project. So the resolution is in front of us. I'll read by title only.
Yes, motion to read by title only.
That you're making a motion to do that.
A second.
First and the second to read.
Alan made the motion and Debbie seconded.
To read resolution 2026-03 by title only. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Christopher, are you comfortable reading it by title only, or would you like?
Title only is something.
That's cool.
Oh,
Sorry, I need to put you on the spot.
Okay.
awesome.
So you just gotta read everything. And
Perfect. All right. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Tukwila Pool Metropolitan Park District authorizing capital development projects related expenditures, directing directing implementation of the district capital improvement program.
Awesome, thanks.
No problem.
All right. All those that take a motion to approve?
I would like to make a motion to approve resolution, whatever it is.
2026-03.
That's exactly what.
I second.
First and a second, is there discussion?
Thank you for putting it together and seeing that we need to do it by the English classes.
Okay, all in favor of approving resolution 2026-03, authorizing capital development project, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion passes. Business item B, Seattle Parks Foundation contract amendment.
Yes, Seattle Parks Foundation contract amendment. We executed an agreement with Seattle Parks Foundation beginning of the year to essentially support the district in capital development, in launching a capital campaign. And so some pre-work, some post-work, that has essentially slowed down a little bit due to the fact that Seattle Parks Foundation is aware that until you pick a site, it will be hard to launch a capital. Because the district is yet to choose a site, something we're continuously working on. The district made an initial $75,000 payment to support the beginning stages of the work. The total contract upfront payment to Seattle Parks was to total $150,000, broken into two payments. We are deferring the second payment until the district chooses a site and officially announces that they have a site. That then would start the work again for our capital campaign development. So this amendment, our contract amendment, is essentially just stating the TPFP is us delaying the 75, deferring 75,000 until.
The 30 days after we have signed.
Correct.
And I think that was my only kind of is there a reason why it's not like they're on their end of it? Do they want to have it once we choose the site? Do they want to be back in and running? Or
I think it keeps the door open for the TPNPD to continue the work that we started. We know that should we pick a site, funding is going to be a crucial piece to this. And so I think the TPNPD would still want to explore what their viable options are for launching a capital campaign. So the work would continue, most likely again, if the board approves it.
but I guess would you feel comfortable like within the 30 days of us approving a site and deciding what that is, that we're ready to full on go back into that? Or is it we might need 60 to 90 days to kind of.
Oh, absolutely. I think the TPNPD would still be exploring all our options in creative ways prior to launching a full capital campaign. This would not be launching a capital campaign. This would say, okay, we picked a site. Now let's continue to build the pieces to an effective capital campaign in the future. To be determined on a launch date. It may take 2 months, may take 6 months to build out an effective capital campaign. But we would start building or continuing to build the groundwork that we've already started. And so that's what this would allow us to do. So if we choose to continue to work with Seattle Parks after picking a site, we would be refining what that capital campaign is going to look like and how they're going to support TPNP.
Brad, what's the definition of site confirmation?
Great question. For me, when we're looking at that, that would be that the district has officially voted on a site
And agreed on the site.
and agreed on the site.
It's a recommendation, it doesn't
Mhm.
sound it's definitely in contract. It's
Correct.
kind of going to current question. So it says within 30 days of site confirmation, but that's not voted.
No, not at all. I read this as the district needs to vote on and agree on the location prior to this being executed.
You need a motion there? Yes. Yes. Okay. I think we're going to be approved. We use the Seattle Parks Foundation contract. making the second payment until the board has decided, has had site confirmation and reaching.
I second.
First and a second, discussion.
Just housekeeping, Tukwila Pool Metropolitan Park District it just needs to be spelled out. It says Tukwila Pool Metropolitan District, and there's a spelling error, and it's TP and PD, just those kind of housekeeping things throughout the amendment.
This for clarification, I'm just gonna put it out there, because I did, when we approved the first agreement, I understand that we've been working with them, and I get the 30 days, but I'm still having a really hard time digesting the total of 150,000 upfront payment. So that's just fine.
Are we, by agreeing to this amendment, are we promising that this amendment just meant we need more time?
And we still have to pay.
Well, we only have to pay if we agree to move forward.
No, our contract is 150,000.
It is.
They're letting us not pay on June 15th. They're letting us pay after site confirmation. So they're letting us delay our.
They're extending that.
So, but we are contracted.
We're already contracted.
Yeah, we are.
And Jerry, we don't feel comfortable that we're contracted for 150.
I didn't in the very beginning.
Okay.
Just. No.
Yes.
So the numbers haven't changed, just the due date has changed, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
Well,
Well, the only comment I have is that I know that last. I don't remember if it was finance, I think it was finance, so we talked about like 360s or something.
Strategies 360.
Yeah, some organization that we were talking about, bringing in that might have that discussing with them in my opinion would definitely have repercussions regarding, what scale, foundation did or the messaging, because, and I just want to make sure that we understand that, and I'm not saying we shouldn't or should, I'm just wanted to be aware that, okay, we've added another ball into the air, so we just need to make sure that, when it comes, if we decide to, when we move forward, that we've got different people that we need to make sure messaging is.
There any other further discussion? Okay. All in favor of approving capital campaign amendment to the agreement, to extend payment due upon 30 days after agreement of determination and property has been confirmed. For Seattle Park Foundation with the amendment that we need to get the housekeeping correct. Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. This is 41. Okay, next business item. This is from me. It says organizational chart discussion. It's kind of a board of commissioner goals, and this has come and written due to the mid-year review with our executive director, and wanting some clarification on direction. Really takes direction from wanting to declare, and we as a board do have some work to do with a lot of our policies down the road that we are lacking in some stuff. So this is just kind of the first step, and it's a discussion at this point. I'm just wanting to have it out there. So I put all of this together. The governance responsibilities, the background of what the board does and serves as, And I did attach our bylaws, which again are needing to be updated. But anyway, it's out there for discussion. This is from me because we were just looking to be able to provide clearer direction for our executive director.
Well, I'll just say, like, I remember once, I think Brad said something about me, if you see something, say something, and I made a mistake, I thought that was a mistake of telling one of the lifeguards, you know, something that I noticed, and I'm like, just be more aware of watching people with the canes when they're getting out of the pool, to be careful, and it should have come from Anastasia, because he was just kind of like, why are you bothering me? And so, I appreciate the clearness of this. I read through it long, and I appreciate the clarity, and I still to this day believe that, I don't know, the lady that was getting out of the pool that dropped her cane in the pool, but when she was trying to retrieve it, it was almost a really bad accident, and the lifeguard was checking the the things right beside her. And I'm like, just kind of be aware. And anyway, but it wasn't taken well by the person, so, I'm like, never again. And I think this kind of clarifies that. If I see something, go run and find it on the station and say, I think that's kind of basically what this is clarifying. I think that's good.
Well, I think it's really important that the board also, I mean, we are a policy board. We should be focused on policy. We're not an operational board. I certainly don't want to run the pool. But we all have our history, which I think is super important, and which has saved the pool and made it so that we're at this point where we are today, discussing how we can keep pool for the future. One of the things that I think that we talked about a couple of years ago that we really actually didn't follow through with was, I think the board has the obligation and responsibility to let the operations and executive director know what our goals are. So if the board decides that it's super important for, for us to see, I'm just making this up, for us to see more attendance at Maple Shark events, or whatever it is, then that is something that the board has decided is a priority. And clearly the board would do that, not just individual members, but it would be something that would be in public and it would be discussed and everybody would know about it. And then we could actually then, to follow through on that. I mean, it's great to have these, oh, we should do this, which even in my own life, there's a lot of, oh, I should do this. And then there's like, no accountability, which is a problem. And not, I think that part of the board's responsibility then is to make sure that we are able to hold our operations and executive director accountable for what we're asking them to do. So it can't be some squeezy, touchy-feely, when everybody's being peaceful and get along. It actually has to be, we want to see, and we want to see, like, if the board noticed, like Debbie was just saying, there seemed to be some issues that might be saying that, oh my goodness, maybe we need to make sure that our lifeguards are trained, and then it's, as far as not the weeds of it, but it becomes, this is a priority. Can you, executive director, we need you to know that we want our lifeguards trained. We want you to tell us what you think would be a good thing. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to listen to your recommendations. We're going to make a decision. And then we're going to give you some sort of metrics or something so that people aren't just like, well, we did this, I did this, and there's nothing to follow up on, because then, everybody's busy defending themselves and we're not really focused on what we're doing. And clearly metrics aren't, a panacea. I mean, but they're at least something. They're, it's super important, in my opinion, that you try and be as objective as possible, and objective with our goals, like, I mean, you couldn't make a goal like, I want everybody who comes to the Tukwila pool to speak Swedish. I mean, that's not gonna happen in our district, it's just not practical. Whereas in Leavenworth, maybe you have a leader home tonight, I don't know, but, you have to keep our community in mind as far as what it serves and what we're here to help our community see, because we're just instruments for our citizens. And we owe it to our citizens to be accountable to them. So I just think it's important that we have measurable goals that are clearly defined and agreed upon by everybody, and we revisit them on a regular basis.
So, and to support what Ellen said, because we did do the board strategic goals last year and spent some time agreeing as a board on those goals. So that's something that I would like to see, revisited annually to make sure that those strategic goals are, to give clear direction to staff on that, and as the board, we agree on again.
Because I will note that when we did our, I received some information from Rhonda today, just as she's ongoing with all this. This is really it's decision-making board staff. The board's decision should be about what policies and goals are established to support the mission, which we just talked about, to set vision, direction for organizational and business development, and to define the values, operational and behavioral standards for the city. Then the staff decisions should be about how to specifically implement and administer the goals and policy designated by the council. Again, so this is based on council, and how to successfully perform their specific duties and responsibilities. And that first page of what she sent me resonated with me because we have not even, there was one time when we did talk about our TPMP core values and updating. And I looked back at that and they're pretty big. The strategic goals are very clear. And I do think, again, this is a starting point moving forward, that this is going to be like an ongoing discussion, and it may be a standing item at every board meeting where we take, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it may be, to have a further discussion. Because I do feel that our values do need to be updated to fall in line with our strategic goals. It'll help with the direction also. Anyway, I just found that to be very key to what we were all thinking and talking about here.
Well, and I think it's also really important that if a commissioner or a manager or a director feels that things are going askew, that we need to have the kind of environment where people can feel that they are safe to say things. Because a lot of times, sometimes people they're afraid to speak up. They're like, oh, this is a stupid question. I should know this. Everybody else would know. And there really isn't any, I think it's so important that we just have space for people to feel safe. And, whether it's, and I'm just gonna pick on her.
I have to tell you, as the newest person at this table, I have said some things I thought back were just so stupid. And every one of you, especially Brad, is like, that's a valid question. When I learn a little more, I'm like, oh man, you do not have to teach this board that, because everyone at this table is a perfect example of that. And I feel really comfortable saying anything because I know nobody's going to be that way. You have that down in spades. It's excellent. So I appreciate that.
That is so lovely that that's been your experience.
It absolutely has.
And I really think that, if I have an issue with operation, like you said, then, maybe I won't go to the lifeguard and say, hey, pay attention. But I do owe it to, to the staff, to the executive director,
I know that.
to say, this is actually, and this is not pointed at you at all, this is like pointed to me. To say something to them, rather, because it's not helpful if I call up Jerry and say, hey, and what can Jerry do? I mean, if the person who I'm having some issues with, or the people, or the group, or whatever, is not aware, then shame on me for not communicating it, because how can I have an expectation if I'm not actually even framing it in a, hopefully in a helpful way, and not an confrontational way, but just a way that, I think we could do better. And it could very well be that, that my vision isn't really, other people are like, no, you know what, I don't think we don't need that. We can meet the goals that you are saying are important in different ways, and then we get more track rather than, just kind of relying on what we've always done and think works. Because if we don't have to keep questioning what we're doing, if we don't question what we're doing, then I don't know how we're ever going to grow. Very well.
Anastasia doesn't look very happy.
That's just my face.
Anastasia, do we want
Maybe she feels like.
Brad knows that I walk around.
Arranged on which person.
I know.
It's been, I say it's been a long week.
No, it's just my face.
it is, it's just
Anyone can tell you that.
Any more?
Well, the only other thing I'll say is that one of the things that the school district does, which I actually think is really kind of excellent role modeling, is that they have a set of agreements that the board members agreed upon. And not just a mission, vision, and, they actually said, okay, well, we're gonna, respect each other, we're gonna do something like that. And I think that that's really, just like I think it's super awesome that we start every meeting talking about our mission and vision, that we, maybe we incorporate something like that, or even as, Jerry and Vanessa were talking about the strategic plan, and really kind of put that eye of Mordor on it so that we're paying attention and being intentional about this. Because otherwise it's so easy to kind of just get lost and then get caught up in, whatever drama appears to be happening in that.
No, I know I've seen in other organizations where decisions and stuff are aligned with, and actually the CDC has been providing reports aligned with these actions are aligned with strategic goal, this, to be really intentional about how it serves. So there's a lot of value to reminding us all.
I think I heard two things. Sorry, I'm confused. So are you saying at meetings, something the school district does well is essentially incorporating whatever the agreement is for a healthy space to speak, share, and respect each other?
That's what they do, and my comments were that, I guess my overall comment is that is a very intentional act, just like us reading the mission vision was very intentional. Perhaps we could, if we're having challenges with communications, perhaps we talk about, communications and putting that, or perhaps we talk about, we seem to be moving away from the strategic plan and kind of going into other areas, and maybe we need to focus on the strategic plan, which could totally be something that the president talks to leadership about. You guys decide where, what makes the most sense. I mean, we certainly don't want to have a meeting where we spend the first half an hour just, going through what our agreements are. I mean, I don't know that that's necessarily the best use of time, although I think the worst use of the time. However, I just think it's something that we, keep intentional about, because it is so easy to get kind of lost. At least it is for me. Thank you for including it. I like it.
Well, I think that what Ellen is saying is actually helpful, and we can talk about that at leadership, because we do have the strategic goals called out as a 2-year, 4-year, 6-year. So, maybe along the page would be, you know, when we do the mission, vision, and values, there would be another page of strategic goals, 2-year, you know, and then their review. And it's something that it would be forefront of me. I'm just saying, it's just something for us to think about. Moving forward, I think that's very helpful. I did also pull a from Lake Forest Park. It's
It was a great representation.
and it was actually very, and I gave it to the staff. It's actually a Board of Commissioners like handbook, and a lot of useful information. And Brad found that, Anastasia found it, and now Christopher has it to work on to help. And I think that was also something that's going to be very helpful moving forward. Like I said, we're a very small board, and so we all try to pitch in. But I do think that we will, whether it's a meeting July on where it comes in, the core values and reviewing the strategic goals, I think are very helpful. And I appreciate that input. So thank you. This is not something easy. I've never had to do my own memo before.
Research and all the work you put in.
So, and again, it was perfect timing around to send this because we think this is, our vision is, you know, needs to be visited. So I do appreciate everything's on stuff. Very helpful. So it is going to be an ongoing continued discussion. There'll be more work that'll come into it. I do think that we should also think about doing roles and responsibilities. Again, we did it, I think, 2014. And that can go along with whatever the board of commissioners.
Jerry, I do want to add one thing. It doesn't end with what we're discussing today. There's two parts to this. It's not just the board. It is also committee roles and responsibilities. It's all aspects of the organization where we choose to sit and serve. There needs to be the same discussion and the same build out at all levels of our committees as well. And that will be the continuation of this discussion.
Correct. And thank you.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that part of it because our policies are lacking some clarification on the committees. You know, finance has it pretty called out for their threshold and what they can approve dollar wise if they're not comfortable with, or you know, CDC was feasibility now or newly, again, being clear on the roles of that. Again, policies are what we do, and those are things that we need to work on to move up because we are a little behind. But thank you that it is, yeah, that's. Any other discussion? Thank you all. Thank you. Okay. Moving on to commissioners' reports. And I might have a list of who's first.
Yeah, it's all of that. Vanessa's first, Commissioner number 1.
Oh. Okay, Vanessa, thank you.
I just wanted to encourage commissioners to, you know, if they so are interested, you can still sign up for the 4th and final Department of Commerce Capital Readiness webinar, which is tomorrow at 1:00. Even if you can't attend, it gives you the Wednesday, June 10th. Yes. And the focus is team roles, risk and response compliance. But even if you're not able to attend, if you sign up for it, you then get access to all the materials and the recordings and everything. So if that's something people are interested in, I know that Jerry and I in particular, we both have talked and said how valuable it is. It's all focusing on
It's public information, right? So I think they can get access to it.
No, it's just you get it nicely sent an email. Yeah, so that's just being really insightful. And One other thing, I did go to the Seattle Parks Foundation Partners Celebration. I know, I should. I listened to you.
Yay, Debbie. Okay, so I went to, the event, water safety event, and, the staff did a great job. It was very organized. Attendance was bad, but people who were there really enjoyed it. I got some feedback, about, possible, can we do kayak workshops, which I thought was kind of neat, and that's something that we, have suggested in the past, and we don't know if workshops are possible or something like that, but it seems like the kids super excited about those kayaks. And, and just anything, it seems like that's out of the ordinary that they're not used to seeing. I mean, they're totally used to seeing people in swimsuits, but not on kayaks or, I was just thinking, especially with the Summer Olympics coming up at some point, having the synchronized swimmers. I mean, that's something that, it's kind of like water ballet clearly, and something like the kids, I think when they see it, get really excited about. There's so many opportunities to get kids excited about different options in the water. And, underlying it all, I think our team does such a good job of just making sure that people are very safe, which is the most important thing, especially as we're going into summer and seeing people in, the water might not be used to it. So, I think that's all I have to.
I want to thank Anastasia. I might have mentioned it here before, I don't know, but there's a person that's recently come back to the pool that has some issues. And Anastasia has been excellent at quietly monitoring that. And I appreciate that. So big shout out from me.
To tag on to Commissioner Zapatel's report on the commerce webinars, I am able to attend on Wednesday that I am registered, and I'm sure all you commissioners are curious about the assessment that we did, and we got results back from. Not forgotten, not lost. We'll continue on. We're just waiting to get through the final one, the final four, if you may say, to move forward with what's going to happen with that. And that's the end.
Okay. Yeah, I was having a report on. And the light on now.
Awesome. Ms. Ladies.
Ms. Lady?
There is no executive session.
Well,
Just one thing. There are all the thank you cards that got dropped off me first. I'm not sure how many of these we need to sign and if we need to have names in them.
You can just sign 8.
Sign 8 of them.
No names.
No names.
Yeah, no names, just
Congratulations.
signatures.
I'm sorry. 40.
Miscellaneous, thank you.
We all have been for sign.
Yes.
Reserved for graduates.
Oh, that's all.
Just leave whichever part blank, so the message can be nicely with.
I'll write it in later.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Anastasia.
you guys can sign it.
motion to.
Is there a second?
Commissioner Shepard.
Oh, second. Cheers.
Sorry, Ken.
I'll take Aaron's.
Take Aaron's. That's what I put, thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for signing up for yourself.
And the recording.
And then go ahead.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that's.
You didn't get